Hey, what up everybody? We're back with another modern video, and today we are playing Prowess. Now, you've seen iterations of this deck before on the channel in like Standard and Pioneer. Today we're going to play it in Modern. Now, the Modern version is a little bit different because we've actually got free spells and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Great card whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Surveil 1, meaning you throw it from the top of your graveyard potentially into the library. But our Prowess package, so to speak, Slickshot Show Off, Monastery Swift Spear, and the Monks made via Cori-Steel Cutter. The card that got banned in Standard isn't banned in Modern despite what Google AI says. So we're going to run it through a Modern League and see how it does. Now, the rest of the deck should be kind of easy to understand. Alright, if we're trying to do prowess things, if we're trying to make our creatures get super big, free spells like Mutagenic Growth, Mishra's Bauble are going to do it. Now, obviously, since this is modern, we have good spells like Lightning Bolt also here to help us deal some damage to our opponents. But we've got Lava Dart, which is a pseudo free spell when it's in the graveyard. Sure, we have to sacrifice a mountain, but we can use that mountain before to cast any number of spells. Now, in the standard versions of this deck and the Pioneer versions, it's like mono red. You might see us running something like Light Up the Stage to hopefully get some card advantage. Preordain helps us do that. Dragon's Rage Channeler helps us do that. Expressive Iteration helps us do that. And really just to be a great finisher, we've got 2 copies of Violent Urge in the main board. Alright, just like how Dragon's Rage Channeler can get bigger because of Delirium, Violent Urge can give our creatures double strike because of Delirium. And it's super easy for us to hit Delirium in Modern because of our fetch lands and our free spells. This is a different type for Delirium, as is this, as is this. That's 3. And if we can hit a creature or a sorcery off of it, we hit Delirium super easily as early as turn 2. That's a really good game plan for us. Really good for ending games quickly. Now, our sideboard is where things are going to get interesting. Alright, we are an 18 land deck, so we gotta keep our spell count high. 2 copies of Soul Guide Lantern to deal with any graveyard shenanigans. I've run a couple of leagues with this before. This card's obviously here for Living End, but it does feel kind of decent against the black-white blink deck too, stopping them from getting back some cool stuff with a swing off of their Overlord of the Baelmerk. Huge. 4 copies of Unholy Heat. This is basically here for the Frog matchup, particularly like the Frog Oculus deck more than anything. But it has some applications against stuff like Titan as well. Again, it does the whole Delirium thing, which we are really trying to lean into. So as long as they're not getting rid of our graveyard, we're getting rid of their creatures. We've got 4 copies of Consigned to Memory. Great against the Eldrazi and Tron decks. They might want to try to run a Chalice on 1 against us, which would be devastating. We can counter it with this. And we can counter the rest of their Eldrazi things as well. I have found in my very limited testing that this is okay against Black-White Blink, which is all over the modern leagues right now. It's really good for stopping them from doing their shenanigans with the Solitude plan where they exile our stuff. Just lets our creatures live a little bit longer. Into the Flood Maw, gets rid of some blockers, gets rid of, because of the gift ability, gets rid of High Noon, gets rid of Deafening Silence. Those are absolute beatings of cards against us. And then we've got Spell Pierce here to deal with problematic, like, non-creature spells. Really, it's here to stop like combo decks and things like that. It's probably going to be fine if we bring it in against any deck where they're trying to board wipe us, But because this is such a like aggressive deck, you really have to be selective about the things that you are sideboarding in and out. I wouldn't hate it if a copy or two of these were surgical extractions, but that's neither here nor there. But don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Listen, let those violent urges fill you and lava dart that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in match number 1. Alright, match number 1. We're going to be on the draw against a delicious treat in the Crunchwrap Supreme with a terrible hand. If this had like a 1-mana creature, this would be kind of sweet, but I don't think we can keep it. This one we can, however. So the question is, what do we want to put back? We are sitting on a 1-lander, which makes me want to put back this Lightning Bolt. But I think we want to just put back, really, this Expressive Iteration, because like the double spelling from it's not going to be super relevant until like the mid-game for us, so about like turn 5, turn 6. The fact that they go Sacred Foundry on 1 is not great. Alright. We do, however, get to kill their Guide of Souls. Alright, we know that they're basically energy, which is kind of a bad matchup for us because of all the life that they can gain. So, we've probably given away that we are the Prowess deck. Okay. I actually don't hate this because double Dragon's Rage Channeler can go hard here. And yeah, 2 Preordains are definitely a little iffy, but there are certainly worse things that we could be doing. Opponent gets a Bloodstained Mire. If they end up having the Goblin Bombardment here, we're kind of hosed, but it is what it is. Alright, opponent's fetching, shocking in a Sacred Foundry, just a Flage. Flage is going to take out a Darcy, which is fine. We can take 3 here with almost no fear whatsoever. Really? Okay, they're just going to swing in for 1. Well, now we're in a position where this Expressive Iteration actually isn't the worst thing, so we can set up for just a turn where we can go all in on this Slick Shot Show-Off. Speaking of which, second copy is going to go to the yard, because that's nowhere close. Put the Cori in hand, Mountain on the bottom, Wooded Foothills over there. Alright. And now we're just going to swing with this in the air. Now, personally, I would just love to... Oh, sick. Put that in the yard then. Alright, so we are setting ourselves up for a okay turn. Alright. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand, 1 card in hand. I mean, I, again, don't hate our spot right now. Opponent swings in for 1. And truth be told, I think I just want to cast this and maybe even just cast this, hope to hit a land, and if they try to do anything crazy... Alright, so that would make this Slick Shot Show-Off go up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'd knock them down to 5. Which isn't bad, but I think we can do better. Okay. Let's see what our opponent's drawing. They're just getting a shadowy back street. I think I can be okay with that, actually. Opponent has to have something good, and we might honestly have a win wrapped up next turn if everything goes well. Ooh, and we hit a mutagenic growth. Okay, yeah, we definitely have a win wrapped up, and we can save this flage. Or save this slick shot show off from a flage, or really most removal. Okay. So we're just going to take all of this. That's so much damage. They're really, really holding back that cat warrior. Oh yeah, now we're cooking this opponent. We are absolutely cooking them. Okay. So the question is, how do we want to do this? And I think it is just go for the Cori-Steel Cutter line. If we can hit a land off of this, I don't hate it. Always yes. Always yield. And bottom, top. Play this out. Flip this. And then we will bolt face. Okay, and opponent scoops it up. So, playing against the energy deck, what do we want to bring in? Honestly, this Into the Flood Maw is going to be good because they will likely have something like the High Noon Deafening Silence plan. Soul Guide Lantern is also good. And what do we want to take out? These expressives are a bit slow on the draw, and then we just want to trim a Lava Dart and a Mutagenic Growth because they are fairly aggressive. There's definitely some logic to just cutting everything and bringing in the Unholy Heats too, but that's maybe going a little bit overboard. This hand's decent. It can almost turn to Delirium. And we can save our Dragon's Rage Channeler if they decide to kill it. Wow. Turn 1 Arena is a huge sign of weakness out of this opponent. They kept a really odd hand. Alright, they go for Godless Shrine. And I mean, personally, I want to say we try to keep this around. I'm sure. I mean, we're losing a lot of life here just to do this. And they are... Yeah, we'll keep another Lightning Bolt on top. Wow, Static Prison is pretty good. Okay, so we definitely cooked ourselves a little bit with that. And they've got 5 mana, like, or 5 energy. They're gonna just keep that around forever. Alright, let's go ahead and just get the Thundering Falls off of this, see if we can hit a threat. Taylor's a threat. Taylor is a threat. Alright. Bolt down that voice. And We'll swing in for 2. We can save Taylor from a flage by just... Yeah. Cool with that. Okay, so... let's see if you want to flip a Johnny. Alright. Well, we're going to go ahead and just lava dart your face. And this really isn't the best situation for us to be in, because we are effectively like saving them 3 extra damage here. If we can hit something good, that would be dope. Another Taylor's not the worst. Alright, we'll swing in with both of these. Alright, they lose an energy, but they've got Guide a Soul, so they can just keep that around forever. They gain an energy. They're not going to swing. They'd be losing some really valuable blockers if they did. Opponent's just stuck on 2 lands, and we're over here just casually letting all of ours go. Okay. So there's a Galvanic, and Taylor's gone. Alright, so we are probably dead here. I mean, they could happily just keep that and play any creature. They have no creatures. That's insane. Our opponent's just sitting on a ton of removal as Mardu. Okay. Sure. Cast this. And let's look at the top of your deck. Ooh, you're getting that land you always wanted. Alright. Opponent's going to go down to 10. They will finally match us in life totals, albeit for just a brief moment. There's an Into the Flood Maw. That's actually going to be great. Shock that in, and Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. Interesting. They discard Flage and Wear Tear. Okay, well, we're just gonna yield to the end step now. Sure, you can dome us for a bunch. Or you can just send it flying and make it big. I don't think there's really a way for us to win here. I mean, they go up to 15 off of this. There are some very narrow ways that we win from this point. And that ain't one of them. Alright, we'll scoop this one up. Opponents got it. GG. Alright. Honestly, we'll just run it. I don't hate what we did in Our opponent didn't run so hot. Alright, we'll be on the play. Super keepable hand. I like the idea of just playing a fetch land, getting a mountain, and going for Darcy on 1. And then we can go Izzet Cutter on 2. Yeah. Okay. So Izzet Cutter. This Thundering Falls in our opener is probably one of the worst things that we could have. But I don't think it's worth mulliganing the hand over. Alright, they go for Arena, and then they Celestial Purge our Cori. Again, I don't know what it's like being God's favorite sim, but like right now it just feels incredible. Yes, we will happily do that. And then hit our opponent for 3. There's maybe some world where we just get rid of that fiery Islet. Well, we can't because of the flashback, but eh. Alright, we got 2 in yard. Alright, opponent is thinking over their decisions. Playing a Shadowy Backstreets tapped. Okay. They put a Mesa in the yard, and they are tapping 2 to cast a Goblin Bombardment. There is a very narrow chance we could win this turn. Always yield. Wow. Okay. So hand, bottom, exile. Play that. And then we will bolt you. Always yes. Always yield. Alright, that's 11 that they're at. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put them down to 2. I mean, I feel like we just do this here. It makes fetching for them, like, basically impossible. And they have to have a very good hand right now to deal with our board. Okay, that's the first step to a very good hand. Alright, they could go Flage and kill our board. They can go a Johnny and kill our board. But we still have the Cori-Steel Cutter, which is our avenue towards victory. As long as we don't brick like we did with our expressive iteration last turn. Question is, why are they Mardu? Opponent's going to 1. Opponent's going to 1. Okay, so they're going to do the Flage down our board line, I think. Okay. Ocelot Pride. Okay. I like that. I like that. Well, we're going to go ahead and get this last mountain out of our deck. Okay. Preordain. That's on the bottom. Lightning bolt is in hand. We will preordain. And then we will... I really want to keep Taylor, but I don't think we can. Okay. I'm pretty sure we win right now. See, that's 2, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, unless they have like a Flare of Fortitude here, I think we win. Yeah, Flare of Fortitude is like the way that we win here. Okay. So now we cast that at their face. And yeah, we win. All right. GG's opponent. See you guys in match number 2. Match number 2, and we get to be on the play. Hand is terrible. You know what? I thought myself into this one. Okay, opponent's mulliganing to 6. Okay. We're going to turn into a Thundering Falls and then turn to Cori. As long as this Cori doesn't get taken out of our hand. Okay, this Cori might not be getting taken out of our hand. It's a energy deck. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, another Cori. Okay. Double Cori. Cori. God, if we can get a third one. Cori in the house. Oh, that Ocelot Pride off the top for our opponent is going to be insane. Really more insane for us, but still, it's something. Come on, free spell. Cori. We got Cori drawn. Let's go. Boop. Yeah, that's dead. Okay, well, our opponent probably didn't expect Cori-Tron right now. And that's okay. they shouldn't expect Cori-Tron. Always yes, always yield. Alright. Hitting them for 7. On turn 3, we get back a Cori-Steel Cutter. And then maybe we can go for Expressive into something insane. Nope, they're going for Galv. They want to keep that around. Okay. I was about to say, do you have another? Alright. Opponent is... I mean, we need blockers. We need blockers. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, that's 6. I feel like we actually need to keep one of these back, just so we have... Okay, opponent's doing that. They go for Voice of Victory, sending the cat skyward. Gain some energy and a life. Okay. So, we will Expressive Iteration. All of these Prowess triggers. And a Surveil. I mean, how do we feel about that, of all things? Maybe it's fine? It's like... hand, bottom, exile. Cast this. Yes. Yes. We will put that into the graveyard. Let's look at the top of your library. See that you're getting Marsh Flats. And then we will swing with everybody. Okay. So, let's do some math here. That's 9. I think we gotta kill the Ocelot Pride? Yeah, we'll keep that on top. Opponent's at 5? Okay, opponent does that. No! No! Ragavan! Ah! So good. Alright, yeah. So, our opponent got us there. Alright, let's do Into the Flood Maw and that. Drop a couple copies of these things. And then run it. Oh, that was so good. Our opponent had it. We didn't take as much damage. I mean... I feel like we gotta... Alright, let's go ahead and cast this here. That way we can just get a surveil trigger off of this. Oh yeah, we're keeping that. And opponent has a Sea Purge on top. Sea Purge is good. So we know they have Sea Purge in hand, and they're fetching, shocking, and getting a Ragavan. Well, we will put that into the graveyard, and then we will cast this. And always yes, always yield. That's going into the graveyard. And I think we're just going to swing in with that. Let's look at the top of our opponent's deck. Ocelot Pride. Alright, so we'll know that they have an Ocelot Pride and a Sea Purge. Well, good news is, I mean, block the monkey. They Sea Purge our Cori-Steel. What they probably are not expecting is another Cori-Steel. I mean, let's go. Top. They had another Sea Purge. Okay, well, let's cast Slick Rick. Let's do this. Get our triggers. And as much as I want to look at their library, let's look at our deck. Is that a good card for us to draw? I think the answer is actually yes, it's fine. Okay. So opponent is down to 2. Are they just gonna flage us? I mean, yeah, flage puts them up to 5. Taking out Slicky. Thundering Falls. Yep. Keeping that on top. Okay. So before you can get your kitty, we're just sending that to your hand. No kitty for you. Alright. Wake up every morning. I got murder on my mind. And there we go. Alright. Tied that one up. We're going to run it back. Just so quickly. So quickly running it back. Golly. That Violent Urge was just top notch. I mean, we keep this hand all day. We got a shock in this Steam Vents. That way we can get a Darcy on the board. So we shock for Darcy. What's crazy is the fact that we can, like, actually... I mean... I feel like we just take that? Maybe? And there's, like, a world where we don't, right? There's definitely a world where we don't. But now we just kill this cat with the lava dart, with our tailor on board, and now we start just trying to build up. Oh yeah, we're absolutely putting... are we putting another Swift Spear? Yes, we're putting another Swift Spear in the yard. Our opponent has to work hard now to kill any of our creatures. They do end up killing that, though. Is a little brutal. Okay. So the problem is we do kind of hurt ourselves here a good bit. I mean, this Cori-Steel's not that great. Thundering Falls. I mean, I actually think we put that into the graveyard, because it's not like we can use it anytime soon. We bolt that, and now we just equip this to Taylor. It's crazy that it does have, like, the colored equip cost too. Opponent kept a one-lander. I mean, yeah, we're just hitting you with that. Violent Urge? Hit you for 8? Okay. Violent Urge? Hit you for 8? And let's go. Alright, back-to-back energy decks is insane, but we got the 2-0. See you guys in match number 3. Match number 3, we get to be on the play. This hand's phenomenal. We're going to start with Scalding Tarn, getting a Steam Vents, play Darcy, and then turn to its Cori Bobble. And we hope that our opponent doesn't have the ability to counter our stuff. Alright. So, opponent with their unit avatar is mulliganing to 6. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. Dragon's Rage Channeler. And pass. Opponent goes Marsh Flats. Crack it. Oh, they're getting a Godless Shrine. And they Fatal Push our Darcy. Alright, well, we now have 2 types in the yard. We're about to have 3. And hitting the Fiery Islet for turn does mean that we can go Swifty into Expressive next turn. Let's just get a peek at what our opponent's doing. They just get a Plains next turn. Doesn't really offer us a whole lot of information. Alright, Foothills and, again, Fiery Islets there too. Alright, they play an Emperor of Bones. They're just blink. I mean, opponents probably got the right stuff in hand. They probably have a Solitude. And there's definitely some logic here to not playing the Express or the Swift Spear first. Okay, so hand, bottom, exile. Alright. So, opponent's gonna hit this Expressive, and that's fine. No, they let the Emperor of Bones die. That's interesting. I don't know why. Oh, they got a Relic. That's why. Yeah, they're just gonna pop that Relic. Real. So real, opponent. Alright, cracking a Flooded Strand, getting Shadowy Backstreet. Putting an Overlord in the yard and just scooping it up. Did not expect that. Okay, so those Soul Guide Lanterns into the Flood Maw. And again, we're at the point where, like, Consigned Memory does sound good. Let's take out 2 Expressives, a Lava Dart, and a Mutagenic Growth. And honestly, I can see more logic in just going double Dart and just leaving the Expressives in on the draw and maybe on the play bringing in the Consigns to give us some extra, like, protection. Yeah, this is a great hand. Slicky, Darcy, Preordained, Mutagenic. Okay, our opponent, wow. Drawing Bauble for turn is really good. Alright, well, we're playing that Dragon's Rage Channeler. They're cracking to get a Shadowy Backstreets. Throwing an Ephemerate in the yard. Oh, they're not. Oh, they're playing High Noon. That's whack. Okay, so they might just be black-white Ketramos, which is honestly pretty bad for us. Alright, well, playing Frog. Getting a Thundering Falls, putting Mountain in the yard. I wonder if there isn't just some logic to I don't even want to swing here. I mean, with them having Overlord, they're probably just Esper Ketramos. Yeah, we will take it. Draw with your frog. Play another frog. There's no logic to casting that mutagenic growth there. Dog, if we could just draw something that isn't. Okay, well, we do get to surveil a bunch, and we throw a sorcery in the yard. Cori's terrible right now. Slicky's not great either. Bottom. How is it that we have just found ourselves in this miserable position? All right, we're swinging 9. Throwing Flicker Wisp into the yard. I mean, you can block something. 2 Flicker Wisp? You block Slick Shot all day. Down to 9. Really? Getting in with both. Okay. I mean, they're probably just trying to hit Solitude. That way they can Solitude Ephemerate. Actually can't go Solitude Ephemerate, which is huge for us in this situation. You're hitting that one. We will gain some life. How do we feel about that? I don't hate it. Top, obviously. And like drawing as deep as we can to try and find. Sure. Hand. Bottom. Exile. Play that. And then it's just swing. Getting in. Pass. Yield until the end step. Just swinging with that one. Ketramos. Overlord of the Baelmerk. Getting Solitude back, I have to guess. Yeah. Okay, Steam Vents tapped. I mean, I will cast this, but I don't think we're gonna be able to do what we want. We gotta swing with the DRC. DRC's getting blocked by Frog. Frog eats it. They still have Solitude in hand. They can, let's see, that's, yep. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can put us to 2 and draw 2. And they really don't have to fear anything here. If there's one thing I wish this deck had, it was some better way to deal with High Noon and similar effects, but it really just doesn't exist. And we have hit so many lands. Alright, GG's. Okay, So we're going to keep doing the thing. Is consign to memory going to be that great for us? I don't think it will be. And I think since we want to just be as aggressive as possible, it's either those or... Actually, no. We're keeping those out. We're bringing in these unholy heats because they are an effective way to remove the frogs, like we said earlier. His hand is terrible. His hand is okay. It's got a sideboard piece, but it's not necessarily a sideboard piece that we're wanting to have. I think we want to go for putting this back, going Wooded Foothills into Thundering Falls, and then it's like Cori on 2. Because we want a activation off of this Cori, for sure. I mean, we'll keep that. Okay. So now we will always yes, always yield. We're going to take a look at the top of their deck. See that they have an Ephemerate, which is really bad for us as a creature deck, and they have Solitude. Alright, Wooded Foothills again. Not the best card for us to be seeing. Alright, Hollowed Fountain tapped. Huge. I do think we're going to go for this other Cori here. Tapped Steam Vents and just swing for 3. Opponent's down to 15. Come on, no high noon. Come on, no high noon. Alright, they're shocking that in. No high noon seems real likely. Alright, no cards to return with their Overlord. Alright. Expressive Iteration. Lord, it might be over for this opponent. Ooh, doggy. Alright. So, as much as I want to get third Cori, I think is Taylor the better card? Is Taylor the better card? I think it is just getting the other Cori. Yep. Alright, I have prized myself into this because if we hit anything, and I mean anything, having this into the Flood Maw for whatever shenanigans they end up doing is huge. Alright, so always trigger, always yes, always yield, yes. Cori, almost Cori in the house. Now, if this opponent has a Wrath of the Skies, we're so hosed. We are, like, just omega dead. Alright, they're going Solitude Ephemerate. They exile Ophalia. So we get to gain 5 here. There's no way you block. Alright, what you blowing up, opponent? Do I wish to use this ability? Absolutely. Alright. Oh yeah. We're in the driver's seat. Yes. Yes. Casting, bouncing that back to your hand. And we're getting all of these triggers out of the way. Oh, this is such a good card. But I think we gotta put it in the yard. And we're swinging through for 12? Yeah. Opponent, you gotta block unless you want to die. Alright, opponent needs exactly Wrath of the Skies here to do it. Ooh, they bend to Solitude. Okay. And we get there. Let's go. Alright, let's just see what our card would have been. Maybe not. I'll see you guys in match number 4. Alrighty, match number 4, and we're going to be on the play. Hand's not the worst. I can keep this. I'd love to hit an untapped land, so we can go for Cori-on 2. But I don't hate it. And just going Taylor on 1 feels fine. Being on the play with this deck feels fine. Like, if you're on the play, you can do so much. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just do this. Again, this Thundering Falls, I understand why it's in the deck, but it has not felt good anytime that it's in our opening hand. Alright, opponent's got Arid Mesa. Alright. See. We'll keep that, actually. Three lands, like, just hitting our stuff on curve. Huge. Interesting. Okay. Well. Cool. Why would you go for Mountain? That's my question. Okay. They are fetching with their Arid Mesa, getting a Plains. Sick. Well, now we're definitely just casting this Cori, and we're probably going to kill the Pride. In fact, not probably, definitely. We are definitely killing the Pride. And opponent scoops it up. Wow. That was the quickest scoop I think we have seen against energy. Okay. Well, we will do our normal thing into the Flood Maw, drop a couple copies of Iteration, and then just drop Mutagenic and a Lava Dart. And obviously, this Soul Guide Lantern's gonna go hard too if we can hit a Flage with it. Alright. Okay. Game number 2 on the draw. Hand's great. Got 2 sideboard pieces. Admittedly, no removal, which feels a little terrible. Besides, I guess, into the Flood Maw, which is technically removal. Alright, let's go ahead and get the Steam Vents out and play this Darcy. Okay. And believe it or not, I actually think we're going to block with this. And before damage, we're just going to make sure that we target the right thing. Because Lord knows I've definitely misclicked on MTGO before. Okay, this just feels unfair. We probably should have kept that on top. In all honesty. Go ahead and kill the cat too. We're definitely not getting to that anytime soon. Yeah. Cast this. That's in the yard. Do this. Cool. Doing this. Actually, I don't hate that. Let's go bottom, top, because then we can just yeah, we're gonna hope that we can just naturally hit a land. And there's maybe some argument to us not popping the Ocelot Pride the way that we did and just letting them have a cat. Like, that was probably a super aggressive turn for us. One might even argue a little too aggressive. Flay. What? I mean, truth be told, I think we're just going to plot this slick shot here because we can go for a nearly lethal line the following turn. And in fact, it might actually be lethal, and we know that they have this. We know that they have the Galvanic. That is a problem. We do know that they have the Galvanic. I would love to have a Mutagenic. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I will say if they... Okay. Um, do we have the ability to... No, they... Okay. Land. And... cast that and send it back to their hand. Okay. So, Violent Urge wins us this game. That does not win us the game. Really want to cast that. Alright, let's do it like this. Let's look at what they're about to draw. Okay. Let's bolt them. And then we'll go for it. Hiya? Did we get there? We got there. Whew. All right. See you guys in match number 5. Whew. These risky plays. All right. Match number 5. We're going to be on the play. Hand isn't the worst. Admittedly, it could be a little better. But I don't hate the idea of just going Mesa, try to see what we can hit off of the Surveil. Okay, opponent just goes for a Shadowy Backstreets. We're getting a Thundering Falls. Darcy's not terrible. I don't hate Darcy. What's opponent going to put into their yard, potentially? They don't put anything in their yard either. Okay. We are both people of integrity. Keeping our things on top and hoping that it works. Alright, well, we're going Darcy and Preordain. Honestly, yeah, I'll take that land. I'll go top, top. Okay, so we can just go wide and be kind of aggressive. Okay, opponent goes for Arid Mesa into a Plains. We're probably just playing black-white. Orcish. Well, that's rude. Well, now I feel like I have to do this because it is by far the best way for me to maximize my damage this turn. So just deal 5 damage to this opponent. Let this resolve. And then next turn I can potentially do some big damage to him. Emperor of Bones. Okay. So again, about what I would expect. It's just black-white Ketrimos, but they've got Orcish Bowmaster in their main. Steam Vents is nice. Okay. Let's see what they play. Opponent's probably going to go for the... Ooh, they go for an Overlord. Alright, Aven Interrupter, Thoughtseize. Interesting. Okay. So we know that they're about to have likely Aven Interrupter and... Okay. Aven Interrupter, Emperor of Bones, and they've got an Orc Army token. Play another Shadowy Backstreet Surveil. And they surveil a Thalia into the yard. So we know 2 of the 6 cards in their hand. Alright, we hit a mountain for turn. These aren't necessarily the hits that we would want. Okay, so we go Swifty and Slicky, getting pumped up because of this expressive. Cori in hand, Swifty bottomed, another Swifty right there. Play this Swifty, and I think it's good for us to just go ahead and Lava Dart that to get it out of the way. And admittedly, yes, it would be good for us to save some of this stuff. Getting in for 10? Getting in for 10's big. And again, we know they have Aven Interrupter, Emperor of Bones, and now 5 unknown. And we got Delirium in our yard. The big thing that they could do is they could Emperor of Bones. No, they're just casting something for 3? Ooh, Flicker Wisp on their Overlord. Yeah. Alright, they play an Arid Mesa. No Solitude. But they hit Ephemerate, Witch Enchanter, Thalia. Probably getting back Thalia? If I had to take a guess. Alright, so we know 3 of the 6 cards in their hand. I mean, yeah. Let's go. And, well, nope. Let that resolve first. And now, we'll kill that. And we get there. Alright, so, black-white Ketrimos. On the draw, into the Floodmoss Soul Guide Lantern, and we're just going to keep the plan that we've had of these Lava Darts and Mutagenics. And there's maybe, again, some logic to bringing in Cosine here on the draw. But yeah, let's run it. Alright, game number 2. We're on the draw. We got a mulligan, a no-lander. I mean, it's nice that we have a sideboard piece in our hand, but literally nothing else plays. So, let's mull. No lander again. We got a mull. Alright. We'll keep this. Let's go ahead and bottom. And bottom. Putting back those 2 shock lands is probably the worst thing or best thing that we can do here. I'd love to hit a 1-drop. Nope. Overlord. Overlord is good. You can get a Flicker Wisp. Alright, well, we can't necessarily do much here. I mean, that's in the graveyard. Like, as good as it would be to have that lightning bolt, like, yeah. Alright. And we probably should have played the Wooded Foothill so we can get a Steam Vents tapped. But I think our goose is cooked at this point. Our goose is very cooked. Ooh. This is actually terrible. Okay. Yeah. We'll get that mountain. Okay, so mulliganing as we have is not necessarily the greatest, but there are certainly far worse things for us. Let's go and play the Steam Vents tapped. Let's cast this Bauble. Always yes, always yield. And let's take a look. Solitude off the top is going to be backbreaking. Alright, well, we're swinging in. They probably don't want to block here. They do block. We're going to cast this Mutagenic and Fatal Push. We'll make a scoop. We are not beating a Fatal Push. Our creature has been fatally pushed. Okay. So honestly, I can see dropping Lava Dart and I think a Soul Guide Lantern for these consigns. And honestly, it might just be better to drop both the consigns and just keep in 2 Lava Dart or 3 Lava Darts. Like, we can stop the removal of our creatures. We can stop their triggers from Overlord and Phalia. Okay, we'll keep this. We're gonna hope to hit a land. Because this hand goes wide. That's the one advantage I think we need to have against black-white, is just going wider than they do. And okay, So let's start by going preordain. Yes, we will absolutely keep that. Top. Okay, so we will top and top. Draw the land, play that. Then next turn we can go Cori Mutagenic. Because Cori Mutagenic seems fine. Cori Mutagenic puts a creature on board. It gives us a huge swing on that turn. Alright, opponent's going down to 15. Play Bowmaster. Kill that. It's a type in the yard, though, which is huge. Okay. And let's go ahead and just play that here. And if opponent has it, they have it. But I think we can be happy with basically everything that we're doing right now. I'd like to hit a land at some point soon. Okay. So they'll take 2 instead of taking 7. Opponent's at 13. We're at 16. They bend an Aven Interrupter. But they've got 7 in hand to our 3. So I think it's got to be Expressive Iteration, hope to hit a fetch land. Or either fetch land for turn or hope to hit a fetch land off of Expressive. Are they going to... Okay, they didn't shock in or bolt in the Witchbless Meadow, which is kind of a blessing in disguise for us. Alright, let's go for this. Again, fetch land goes crazy. Hot dog. Alright. Hand. Bottom. Exile. Now, the thing is, right here, we can again try to make this board extremely large. Okay. And we're not going to crack the bauble this turn. We're going to crack it on their end step so we can draw an extra card and consign the Bowmaster trigger. Because consigning the Bowmaster trigger stops them from dealing a damage to us. It might cause them to make a riskier attack. It causes them to do a lot of things that are beneficial for us. Swing in for 11. And then we got this Violent Urge and Delirium on board, which is pretty sweet. And also cracking on their end step gives us an advantage if they decide to Relic of Progenitus our board. Okay. Sacrificing the bowman. Interesting. Ooh, ephemerate the bowman. Okay. So they'll put us to 12? Alright, opponent's at 5. Okay. Rebound their Orcish Bowmaster. Kill our Monk token. Pretty good. I want to see them attack with that Orc army. I want to see them attack with the Orc army, but I don't think they're going to. Alright. So, opponent's really mulling this one over. Opponent goes for the White Orchid Phantom, destroying our steam vents. We are going to get a mountain. They play a land. No swing. Reasonable. Let's see what they're getting. They would be getting an ephemerate. Okay. So now the opponent has to deal with a couple of potential things. So they're getting rid of the ephemerate and just getting a regular thing here. Oh wow. They're going for another Bowmaster. Ugh. That's actually bad for us. Okay, we'll let that one happen. Draw a card. Okay. Now, both of these happen. And the problem is, I think we have to... cast with replicate. So we will replicate once. So dupe. Okay. Prowess triggers. Okay, so that's taking care of that one. Okay, so you were taking care of that. That will hit this. Lord have mercy. Okay, so that's hitting that. So you're hitting that. This is hitting that. Okay. So, if we do this now, how does it work out for us? I think it could go very poorly, right? Yeah. Yep, so that kills our thing. Hand, bottom, exile. Okay. I think we have to just sit back on this one. That was a really rough turn for us. I think if we had ordered our triggers just a wee bit differently, we would have been fine. Alright, so opponent doesn't get the ephemerate. They have nothing that we know about in hand. Oh, are they just going to blow up our Cori-Steel? Yeah. That's a solid line. I mean, I don't think there's a bad world where they do... I think we still win, actually. Like, as long as they don't have a Solitude, I think we still win. Okay. I think we still win. Yeah, that's in the yard. Kill that. No. We did the wrong one. We did the wrong one. Oh, no. Oh, that's so bad. We destroyed our untapped land. I mean, I don't think it matters which one we target, does it? Yeah, I guess it doesn't. Oh my god, we got there. Another 5-0. I'll see you guys in the wrap-up. So, what do we think of this Izzet Cutter deck in Modern? We went 5-0, and like I said, this wasn't our first league with it. We ran a couple of 3-2s and 1-2-3 before this, but the deck is super easy to learn, really easy to pick up. If you have an RCQ that you're trying to make some quick wins with and maybe get a really quick invite with, this might be the deck for you. But as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave some comments. Tell me what you want to see me playing. We've only got a couple more weeks of Modern, and then we're back to Standard. So be prepared for some arena videos. Maybe we'll still be on MTGO. Maybe we might see some challenges being played. Is that something that you guys would be interested in? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.